Today's webinar is entitled Building Out a Business. Our presenter today is Reuben Zielinski, Head of Tech Services for Sanofi Aventis. Reuben is a graduate of the RIT Saunders College of Business Executive MBA program and also earned his BS in Electrical Engineering from RIT's Kate Gleason College of Engineering. In addition, Reuben holds an MS in Mechanical Engineering from Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute. Reuben is co-founder and COO of Revive Electronics, a Carmel, Indiana-based startup that has developed a unique product suite to address the problem of damaged electronics due to unintended water intrusion. Reuben has worked in various executive capacities at Fortune 500 companies and has extensive experience in consulting for the life sciences and biotechnology industries. He holds several patents, sits on several boards, and is a member of the New Jersey Technology Council. He is currently a senior director at Sanofi, managing several outsourced product portfolios, performing due diligence on potential acquisitions, and leading commercial launches of RX and OTC products. Reuben, you have the floor.
Thanks, Mark. I just had to take you off mute. I'm not sure what to say after that introduction. That was great. Thanks very much. So, yes, I'm here to talk about a little project that I started here about 3 years ago. It's surprising how long it takes. Anyone that's on the webinar that wants to venture into this needs to understand it takes a lot of time, effort, a little stick-to-itiveness, determination, and above all, you need to have some financial backing. With that, we'll start. So let me just tell you the story here. Yes, it's currently called Revive Electronics, but we're in the process of renaming the company to Redux. Redux is, if you look at the definition, it's, I think the definition is about resurgent and bringing something back. And that's exactly what we do. We bring consumer electronic devices back to life after they've been subjected to water or unintended water intrusion, dropping them in a toilet, a sink, taking them in the shower, walking into a lake, etc. Probably everyone on the webinar has either done this or knows someone, or certainly in their family knows someone that's done it. How did we start on this? This goes back a number of years, back into 2011, actually, right the beginning of December. My neighbor, Joel Trusty, his wife, Teresa, had a cell phone, a smartphone. She had just got it, and it had a plethora of video and photos on it that she had taken of her family. And she locked it into the front end washer in her pants pocket, and it was washed through the washing machine for about 45 minutes. She took it out. She was very upset. She took it to the Big Blue store, not the Verizon, but the other guys. And the associate, Adam, told Teresa that there was nothing that he could do for her, and that she needed a new phone and all her data was lost. She came back, she brought it to Joel. Joel, who's his family is pretty innovative and inventive. His dad invented the dead blow hammer, trusty cook. Took it to his shop and he put it under heat in a vacuum, and he didn't appreciate what he was doing, but he spent the whole day there. And lo and behold, at the end of the day, the phone came back. And not only did he get the data, but the phone worked perfectly. So he brought it to Teresa. Teresa brought it back to Adam, and Adam said to Teresa, listen, if you guys figure out what you did here, we get 20 to 30 people a day that in this particular store at the mall that bring phones in because they're wet. With that, Joel and I thought we had something. We started talking about how we might bring this to market, and we quickly talked about creating a small machine that was no bigger than a desktop printer that could really be brought to the retail stores where people could identify where these machines were located, bring their phones that they accidentally dropped in the water, and within a short period of time, be able to dry their phone out and guarantee the water was out of the phone. And so we began, instead of, we talked about a mail order process, et cetera, but quickly, we zeroed in on a retail solution. We built a proof of principle. Actually, we built several proof of principles, and right now we're at what's called Gen 9. That'll just give you an idea how many revisions we've gone through, generations we've gone through. We both put about 2,500 hours of time into this, so it requires a lot of time. Fortunately for us, I had the technical background. Joel's got a business background, and we were able to do a lot of the engineering ourselves, do a lot of the marketing data and the opportunity ourselves, even wrote the patent work up ourselves. And actually, we located a patent attorney firm in Indianapolis, and we submitted for a patent. During this time, we actually came up with a couple other devices, and I'll talk about that in a moment. But we were invited to the Indiana Innovator Showcase, and where we won Best Overall Innovation that year. I think that was 2012 or 2013. I'm sorry. And then the Indiana Business Journal wrote an article about us. And sure enough, our commercial partner, which is very large privately owned stores of Verizon, saw this when he was on vacation, and he had his CFO call us. And we said, he told us that he would really like to work with us. He sees the vision. And lo and behold, we had a partner. What was nice about that is our partner happens to have almost 1,000 stores, which we always wondered how we were going to get this into the retail stores, how to prove this. So suddenly now we had the commercial partner with the financial backing and the stores that we could help prove the model, tease out the pricing model, and move this forward. So the investment was cash and kind. Kind was he created an office build-out for us. He provided legal support, accounting support, HR support, and basically all the overhead structure that we didn't need to invest in. And of course, it's there'll be a point in time where we share in that, sharing the cost in that. But as a startup, it was very nice to have someone like this and have access to all the retail stores. So that's sort of the background. So if we go to slide 1, what are we going to discuss today? Branding and messaging. And of course, with a business degree and being formally in sales, I understand the strength and the importance of branding and messaging. But, in the retail environment, it becomes very, very important. And again, those of you that are on the webinar that are interested in doing this, I suggest you really, really think about your name and your message and what you're all about, because that's really going to hold a lot of water out in the retail environment and with the consumers. I'll talk a little bit about our IP strategy and why that was very important, why that continues to be important, and then a little bit about a consumer experience. The branding and messaging really is about, our strategy changed a bit, and it really is our willingness to change with that strategy, and what it's going to mean to social media messaging and really speed to market. So if we look at the branding message here, so these are examples of how we're going to brand this. We actually brought in an external marketing firm, and they saw the hardware that we had built and the name Revive Electronics that we had, and they said it was okay, and we all have thick skin, and we said, well, you know what? As long as we sell a lot of machines, we don't care what you call it and what it looks like, and we have to manufacture it. So that was sort of our parameters. So we all got together. We let the marketing firm have at it, and they came back with at least 10 designs of what this could look like, really cool-looking designs and really cool-looking names. And we landed on this Redux because we wanted to play on this RE. So you'll see in our merchandise package why that's going to be important, but it's real easy to pronounce, it's real easy to remember, and there's a lot of ways we can play on the RE in the little blue circle. So on the branding, we'll talk about the merchandise packaging, the website, wireframes, social listening tools. We're talking to a celebrity spokesperson, video plans, and branded terms. So on the merchandising accents, and I have some examples here, we have brochures, we have device hangers, we have cord tags, floor decals, and wet phone signs. And what this is this is all to build awareness with consumers as they come into mobile phone stores. And, you know, people don't realize that their phone is not fried when they get it wet. In fact, you know, technically, we don't want to get into this on this webinar, but we know it's not fried, and we know we've had some further innovations that we can actually revive almost 98% of the time phones that become wet. There's a couple caveats to that. One is if it's pool water with high chlorine content. The other is salt water, but there are ways you can get around that. So the brochures that we've landed on, and you can see here in this with how we're playing on the RE and the blue circle, these are brochures we're handing out in the stores. Right now we have almost 300 machines out in the stores right now. So step one is relax, don't panic. Step two is regroup, and step three is revive with our dryer. And so that's really how we're using this RE in our brochures and the branding and messaging, which we felt quite important. Device hangers, those are obviously on doorknobs and so forth. And in here you can see in the lower left, you get a little glimpse of what our device dryer looks like. That little dryer is going to have some blue lighting. There's a lot of reasons why we have blue lighting, a clear plastic lid on top, and you'll be able to see the moisture actually coming out. We have a nice video that shows that. And, you know, again, all about, you know, messaging to the consumers. Cord tags here, these are going to go on for charging cords. You know, you can see in the picture that was an old one, that was our old Revive logo, that was a little R with an epsilon in the superscript. Again, since we've changed that since, and it's now Redux. This is a floor graphic. I think this is quite nice. This is about a 3 feet by 5 feet floor graphic. Obviously, it'll go on the floor when you walk into the store. And again, it's all to build awareness that we have a solution in this particular store and these particular stores, which are very large, you know, mobile phone stores for Verizon, will have a solution for this. And in fact, we have, right now we have Verizon corporate very interested in this. We can, if someone wants to field a question later on, we can talk about that. A wet phone sign, very similar to some floor signs that you see when people in the custodial field are mopping, you know, a floor and the floor is wet. We're going to have tents there, and it's going to, again, build awareness. Again, you can see on the caution sign, Redux, and then recommended. And so there are literally hundreds of words that start with RE, and we're going to play on all of those as far as our branding message. The website, obviously the website is going to be very important, and this sort of transitions to, you know, how we're going to build a solution for our customers. The customers I'm talking about here are retail phone stores. This is going to be, our vision is for this to go much further and beyond, you know, our present commercial partner in the U.S. and their parent. We envision this to be 30 to 40,000 machines throughout the world, and our patent, you know, protection spans the world. It spans 27 countries in the free world, and you know, over 3 billion phones. By the way, this isn't not only good for phone drying, but you can dry hearing aids. So the number one reason people ruin very high-priced hearing aids, $3,000 hearing aids, is they forget they're in their ears and they walk in the shower or the swimming pool. And so this can dry hearing aids out. It can dry digital cameras, key fobs, anything electronic that you can think of. Watches, if you've ever had water that's formed in your crystal and it was maybe a sentimental watch or an expensive watch, you can get this dried out also. Anyway, back to the website. What we're proposing is a very comprehensive solution, starting with our website, that we're going to offer our customers. That's going to be basically the view into the Redux Corporation IT infrastructure, which you'll have access in ways to manage all your consumer data as people come in and check in if they have a wet phone, and have all the client information in this. We'll have the dryer will have a package that we give them with all the merchandising information, a user ID and a password, and you know, they can download this and that'll get into their website, and they'll have access to everything at our website on a instantaneous basis. So there'll be ways, the home screen will be ways to contact us, about us, the news, any new news, find a Redux, a location, how it works. We'll have a video showing how it works and maybe some scientific, you know, information, etc. So this is just an example of something we put together just last week. This is about to hit the internet. I think it's targeted next week. So we'll have a home page, the locations, the news, the single news articles about us, you know, why this is good for the environment, throwing phones away with a lot of nasty chemicals and elements in it, you know, is not good, and again, how it works. And you can see again on our webpage the RE playing off the relax, the regroup, the revive, and that picture of that little graphic of our dryer is not exactly right. I'm not sure we're going to have a front end screen on that. That's currently something we're debating, but that's pretty close. In addition, we're going to have a Sysomos heartbeat that allow us to listen to people in real time as they damage their phone, get this information real time, what phone mentions by state across social media, blogs, and traditional media. That's required. What's required of that is you have to provide a monthly investment. We have to manage it daily. We'll have someone managing us, you know, on an ongoing basis. This is an example of a search for a wet phone across the U.S. Again, this is the Sysomos. And so, you know, you'll be able to get all kinds of analytics for this, and we feel that this is going to be very important. Obviously, you know, this being tied to YouTube and video, Flickr, you know, Facebook, LinkedIn, etc., Tumblr, all of this will be tied together. For me, this is the first time I've ever heard or used this application, but my understanding and people I've talked to, it's a wonderful application, and it's a great way to really hear the voice of the customer on a real-time basis. In addition to that, we're looking at a celebrity spokesperson. I'm not at liberty to tell you who it is, but I'm sure everyone on this phone would recognize who this is. It would be for the Redux, you know, video. Interesting enough, in our headquarters location, we have a training store right in the headquarters that we could do videos that would likely be shot there. Obviously, that would probably be posted on our website, maybe on YouTube, and you know, it could potentially in the future, you know, when I say future, maybe 12 to 18 months from now, it could be a TV commercial. That's how well-known this celebrity spokesperson is, that we believe people would listen to this person and take credence into what this person says. We've shot some videos and branding of what to do and what not to do if you get your phone wet. What the solution means if you bring it into the store, you know, what we'll charge if you get a full just a diagnostic for it, or if you get a full revival or recovery of this, and if you get a partial. Sometimes when the phone comes back on, you know, the center home button doesn't work. That can be replaced, but you know, would be a partial charge. And so we have videos that walk you through this, and right now we're currently shooting several more videos talking about, you know, how the technology works, you know, where the locations are, and really driving the brand image and the full solution of what we can do for consumers. I know I've gone through this pretty quick. People have a chance to digest this. Now we can talk a little bit about the intellectual property. Very early on, we recognized that vacuum drying has been around a long time, since the 40s, but the way we do it is very unique, and I'm happy to report after a long, hard-fought battle with the U.S. Patent Office, if people don't realize it, the U.S. Patent Office, the examiners, are paid to reject, okay? And at first I didn't realize, why they do that. But what it makes you do is it makes you fight real hard for something that you consider very innovative. And it makes you fight very hard to convince the Patent Office, because it's all a negotiation strategy, to convince the Patent Office what you've done has not been invented prior to this. And a lot of times, some of the very good ones take a while. And as I said, I'm happy to report that just yesterday, our U.S. dryer case, which was filed in February of 2012 as a provisional patent, and then a non-provisional in February 2013, has issued, and they've notified us it issued, and we have 46 claims covering, the dryer, and it's a very, very robust patent that covers us. So we have the rights for 20 years on this. So we have 31 patents pending if the first has just issued. As I mentioned earlier, that's not just the dryer. As we progressed in working with this technology, we felt that there would be need for an assessment tool. So if someone came into a store and their phone was acting funny, and the associate asked them, well, did it get wet, or was it near water? And they're like, well, it was, but we don't know if it got water in it. Sometimes that's an awkward moment. Well, we designed and developed a moisture detector. It's basically like a little meter that plugs into the headphone jack, and it siphons air out, and it can tell you, I'll give you a figure of merit, whether or not your phone is wet. Then we created what's called a charging cord, because a lot of people, if they try putting this in a bag of rice, which, by the way, right now is one of the competitors, this will prevent the phone cord from being plugged in and damaging the phone through if there's water left in the phone. And then finally, something recently we've just put a patent pending on is we believe we've come up with the world's first battery protection circuit based on water intrusion that basically shuts the battery down, so the battery itself, if the phone gets wet, doesn't damage the phone. It's very, very innovative. That's where we are with our patents and patent pendings. Some consumer experience for the retail customer, as I mentioned. Our whole goal is to deliver and put together a turnkey package for the retail customer, and that is the mobile phone stores. That we're going to provide the tools to be up and running in hours. This is going to be the dryer, of course, and that's going to be either a purchase or a partial purchase with potentially a down payment and a lease. That seems to be very palatable right now. And then we will get, a fee for every time the machine's turned on and used, and the mobile phone store will charge whatever the pricing umbrella and the market will bear to dry a phone. Some phones, if you get them wet and, you bring it in, there's nothing that the store can do. There's a $170 replacement fee to get a new phone, even if you have the insurance. And so that's sort of the high end there. I would think that, some of the pricing we're talking about is between $39 and $59 to the store, and then, of course, we would get a fee for that. There's also going to be a consumer data management solution for this. That's the IT worldwide database and the IT solution. Again, as I mentioned, you're going to have a user. This is the consumer retail customer is going to have a user ID and a password that's going to allow access to the Redux system. We are presently building this system with a large integrator, and that's going to be used for a potential of up to 50,000 worldwide installations of a dryer. A possible evolution of this is something that we've talked to in the strategic nature of how these projects. So we're going to start out with a drying service, and with our little dryer there. Again, that's about the size of a small desktop printer. And then we're going to add very quickly. We're going to add the drying service plus, the moisture detector, which is in the center, and then the moisture intrusion protection, which is the cord that won't allow power to the phone if there's moisture in it, and just recently, a new type of battery technology. And then if you look at this in the future, where this might go, we're very confident that this might be moisture intrusion insurance. So as this technology proliferates throughout the world and mobile phone stores buy into this, and we believe no mobile phone store will want to be without this because it's going to drive foot traffic. And we've tested that with other retail stores that sell pharmaceuticals and et cetera. You can let your imagination wander as to what those stores are. But we believe that this will likely end up being some type of insurance that is put on your monthly bill. So you get this, I show a little bill here, a family plan, you have text, you have data, and then you might have a moisture intrusion insurance. And we don't know what that might be, but it might range from $2.99 to $5.99 a month. But on a 12-month basis, and in the U.S. alone, with over 330 million mobile phone contracts, that could be quite large at some point in time. So that's all the slides I have. I know I ran through those pretty quickly. It's half an hour. I'll open it up for questions if anyone wants to ask a question. Mark, I'm not sure if you're gonna play referee here or how we're gonna do this, but if anyone wants to send me a chat or a question or however you want to do this, that would be great.
Hi, Reuben. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's Suzanne Tennell. We do have a couple of questions, so I will start. So one question was, how did you decide what level of investment to put into this marketing of your system now?
That's a very good question. Okay, so what we did was we know several marketing firms, Suzanne, that play in this field, that put together little graphics and sketches of what the product might look like, and also come up with brand names that they do a quick search on to make sure that no one else out in the world is using these brands and these names. And so we took proposals from 3 companies. It wouldn't surprise you that one that we've worked with, or our commercial partners worked with, was chosen. Very comfortable working with these folks. And also, basically, we dangled a bigger carrot in front of them to say, if you provide this work for, and I'll tell everyone on the phone, it was a $70K project to do some of this marketing work. But we told them that there's likely a lot more work in the future if you help us out on this as a startup. So we dangled the startup. This could be very large someday, and also we're working with a large commercial partner that could be very rewarding for you in the future. And they loved, and I'm not going to use their name, of course, but at some point in time we can reveal that, probably on our website. But it was a good way, and it struck a good deal with everyone.
Thank you. So here's another question. So you have been in test market already. What do you hope to accomplish by adding this marketing or point of sale materials? So from where you've been, I don't know how long you've been in the test market, but from where you've been to where you think you'll go with adding all this marketing stuff.
Yeah, so through the first half of December, we had almost 100 dryers installed, and that was from across the U.S. in various locations. And that was with, we had no marketing materials other than we trained the store managers and some of the associates. And it has generated a tremendous amount of interest with people coming in, such that we created what was called a membership program. And this membership program, the best time to take people's money is when they have their credit card in their hand. If anyone is on the phone, everyone on the phone has probably bought a new car, or most people. And when you're paying for this, or you're about to sign the papers at the dealership, They're asking you, well, would you like undercoating protection? Would you like paint protection? The reason that is because you're about to sign the document. It's very easy. Well, the same holds true for people, buying phones and buying, accessories in these phone stores. When they have their credit card out, it's very easy to take a little more money. So what we did was we created a membership program, a Redux membership program, and it was, I think, fairly brilliant. That for $20, you can buy this program, a little card, and it's good for 24 months. And if your phone gets wet up to 2 times, you can bring it in. Diagnostics free, and if it comes back and we revive it, that's free. So a little investment up front, $20. And the first week we did this, it was a $20,000 revenue for less than 100 stores. So to circle back to your question is, we believe that this marketing campaign and these brochures and the brand awareness is going to drive a tremendous amount of foot traffic and awareness, coupled with our website. That I don't like to use the word hockey stick, but I think there's going to be a tremendous amount of growth in a short period of time. And our commercial partner does, because the commercial partner's willing to invest several more $1 million. We're in current negotiation on that.
Great, thank you. Here's a question from Christopher. Can the process damage a phone, making it too dry, affecting the phone components?
No. Most electronics, actually, if you ever received electronics like I do at my house building things, I know it sounds crazy, but they come with desiccant inside the package. Inside the phone, the only thing that could probably get damaged, and it's a sealed device, is the battery. Those batteries are sealed cans. If you ever looked at one pretty close, they're welded aluminum, welded closed. So the answer is no, it's not going to, nothing's going to get damaged in the phone.
Thank you. So here's another question. Why did you decide to use a spokesperson at this stage in the testing of this concept or product?
Right. That's a good question. So we're lining this up. This is for a big splash, and probably when we have the IT solution ready and we have this ready to roll out, I'm going to say in probably less than 6 months, that's when this is all going to hit. And it's really focused around, and I failed to mention this in the early part of my discussion here, but we're really focused around speed to market. There are a couple competitors out there. They've referenced our patent. Of course, it just got issued. They referenced our patent pending in the past, but I think they'll probably stand up and take notice after this hits the wire. That's now hit the wire and the USPTO. But really, it's about speed to market and providing a all-encompassing solution and messaging for our particular brand.
Great. Okay, and I think I only have one more from our audience. What criteria will you use to make the decision to roll out? And are you going to do it slowly? Are you going to do it quickly? Right now you're in one corporate, I would say location, but you're with Verizon. Are there plans to move it into other phone companies? So talk a little bit about what the future looks like.
So, some of the things that, there are options, we haven't, we've talked about this amongst us and the board members, is, offering someone, an exclusive for a period of time, or maybe an exclusive, in the U.S. Keep in mind, in the U.S., there's about 340 million or so phones, about 320 million phones, I think, and maybe 330 million, contracts. But there's a whole rest of the world that our patent technology covers, and it's over 3 billion, plus hearing aids, key fobs, et cetera, digital cameras. So we're trying to identify, Suzanne, what the best deal is for us here in the U.S. that will not hold us hostage to growing the business and producing, a lot of dryers for our encompassing solution for the rest of the world. So we're willing to, entertain an exclusive for a period of time, and that exclusive might, there might be an upfront payment, there might be, there's all kinds of ways you could work that deal. But we're not poo-pooing any business, deal right now, however we could structure this. But there is, it's funny, our commercial partner also happens to know the CEO of Sprint, and that's just another avenue we can pursue. But right now, anything is on the table for this.
What about, just as a corollary, what about rolling it out to all the rest of the Verizon, your corporate partner locations?
Yeah.
What is your plans and timing for that?
Yeah, so there's 8,500 corporate stores in the U.S., and I'm not at liberty to talk about all the plans we have, but suffice it to say they've noticed what we have here, and they're very interested in running a large pilot in their corporate stores.
Right. Okay, well, there are no more questions at this time. Additional questions can be emailed to ritalum@rit.edu, or tweeted to @RIT_alumni with the hashtag #MeRITWebinars, and we will direct your questions to Reuben. Note that all participants will receive an email from us in the next few days with a link to today's webinar recording. Many thanks, Reuben, for being our distinguished speaker today, and thank you to all our listeners for joining us for today's webinar. Join us for go ahead, Reuben.
I was just going to say, go Tigers.
Join us for the next installment of MeRIT on Thursday, February 5th, with Deanna Jacobs, a professor in RIT's Packaging Science Department and the Graduate Program Chair for Packaging Science at RIT, who will share her considerable insights into packaging, the supply chain, and the environment. Stay tuned for an email inviting you to join the conversation. You'll be able to register for this webinar and more at rit.webex.com.